Let's go ahead and take a look at a different and a very interesting data set for linear regression, and that is known as the Carvana Dataset. So as you can see that I'm on kaggle.com, I can go to datasets, which is right here, and let's search for the dataset Carvana. Carvana. There we go, predict prices of the car. Now, Carvana dataset is obviously for predicting the car prices, and it contains around 22,000 row of data, the first 1,000 pages of the site. So it was actually screen scraped. Now, obviously, these car prices will be a little bit old, might be 2022 or so, or even older, but at least we have these car prices, and the data is organized into different columns. You can see over here we have the name column, the year column, the miles column, and the final column, the target column, the price. Okay, so let's go ahead and download this particular Carvana data set and see that how we can perform linear regression to train a model that can predict car prices. So I'm going to go over here and say download and download the data set. All right, it's downloaded. I will go open up my folder, unzip this file. It's a carvana.csv file, as you can imagine. And now we can actually use it. So again, going back to my file, in the sample, I can upload a new sample, which is Carvana. Let's go ahead and open this up. There's the Carvana, copy the path, and now we can get started. We'll import pandas as pd, pd.read csv, passing in the path. We're going to get some sort of a data frame, and now I can just check out what the data frame kind of looks like. So we can already see that we are able to get the data frame, and data frame looks pretty good, right? But if you look carefully, you will see couple of problems with the data frame. Well, the first one is the name column. The name column contains all the string values, and we know that the machine learning algorithm, it needs numbers to work with. But in the previous lecture, we have already learned that we can use one-hot encoding to tackle that problem. So that's okay, we can figure that out. Then looking at the year column, it looks fine until we reach this, and what is that? 2017-3? 20173? That doesn't sound right. I wonder how many of these are there, right? The miles column looks okay. The price column obviously is fine. And let's first check out the year column. I mean, how many of them are more than 2025? So df, so what we can do is we can actually filter. So I'm going to write over here, find all cars where year is greater than 2025. So df, and then over here you can pass in the filter, meaning where the year is greater than 2025. And if you run this, you can see that there are 2,851 rows where the year is greater than 2025. That's a pretty big amount of number of rows. So total rows are 22,000 anyways. And some of them, you can already see they're, just going crazy over here. Now, just by looking at it, I can see a kind of a pattern. Do you see it? Do you see what it meant to be? And maybe accidentally somebody press something or something bad happened. I think what they wanted to do is they wanted to say 2016, 2013, just the first four starting from left to right. And somehow what happened is that they entered or some maybe automated program did that. Something bad happened anyways. So what we want to do is we want to select the left to right, only 4 characters. So how can we do that? Well, in order to do that, we can actually use the year. So this is going to give us all the year. And then we can convert it into string, so str. So all the values of the year, which are basically numbers right now, they will be converted to string. And then this means that I can call string function. And one of the function I can say is go ahead and select 4 characters. After you select 4 characters, left to right, and then you convert it back to integer. And then not only that, you just go ahead and assign it back to the year column again. All right, so this is kind of like a really one-liner that we have written, which is going to take all of the years. Now, what about the years that are already good? Well, it's just going to be, it's not going to do anything, right? If the year is 2015, which is correct, then it's just going to select 2015 because it is 4 characters. But however, if it is 20194, then it will be converted to string. Well, 2015 will also be converted to string, by the way. And then we will pick 2019, which are 4 characters, and then we will convert it to 2019 as integer. All right, that's the last step. This is still a string right there. Let's run this. Okay, and now let's go ahead and say df, just to look at the df. All of these looks perfectly fine. df, you can see the year, they look pretty good. And another thing you can do is you can run this line again, and you can see nothing comes up now. All right. So this is good. We're able to solve that particular problem. Now, what will be our next step? Well, what about the miles? I mean, the miles column looks kind of fine. Why should we even mess around with miles? Well, let's check what is the minimum miles over here. All right, so I'll say over here miles.minimum. 53 is the minimum miles. So there is a car that has driven only 53 miles. That sounds like brand new car. And what is the maximum miles? Whoa, 120,000 miles. That's a lot. So see the difference between 53 and 120? That's a huge gap, right? And when you have such huge gaps, then linear regression doesn't work as good as you want it to work. So for those cases, what we can do is we can standardize the miles column. Standardize means that we are going to get the values which are a little bit closer to each other. All right. And in standardization, if you look at the formula for standardization, if I go over here and show me formula for standardization, you will see that it is the mean is involved in those cases, mean and the standard deviation. So you can see the z-score, which is, so over here you can see the x is the original value, which can be 120,000. The mean of the feature, whatever the mean of the miles are, and then the standard deviation, you divide it, and then you get the standardized value. All right, and these standardized values will be very, very small, and that's basically what we're trying to do is these values like minimum miles 53 and maximum miles 120,000. We don't really want a huge gap between them. We want to get them closer, but still keeping the same kind of like the scale, well, not the same scale, but the same distance, but on a different scale. All right. So let's see how we can standardize, because the first thing we will have to import for standardization will be the standard scalar. So I'm going to say from scikit-learn dot preprocessing import standard scalar. See that? So I'm importing standard scalar over here. Once the standard scalar is actually imported, I can go ahead and create an instance of standard scalar. I'll call it scalar equals to standard scalar. All right. And then I can say, I can create a new column or I can overwrite my existing column. That's completely up to you. I can say over here, but I can, right now I can just say a new column, standardized. And how do we standardize? Scalar dot fit transform, and the column that we want to transform is called miles. So if I run this and I print out df.head again, just 5 rows, you can see the standardized value. See that? Standardized value right there. So this is the mile, this is the standardized value. Okay? So standardized value is going to allow us to get into a different scale where the distance is still the same, but it's on a new scale. So the values are not really spread out. Because if the values are spread out, the error might be much bigger in those cases, and so on. So we are going to use the standardized values in this case. All right. The other thing that we need to do is, what about the name column? We haven't even touched the name column. We can't deal with this name column, right? Because there's alphabets, characters in there. So we have to use one-hot encoding for the name column. Okay. So let's see that how we can do that. So I am going to say pd dot get dummies. We have used this before, by the way, right? And df, and then the columns. Columns equals to, the only column we want is the name column, so we're going to pass it, and then we will assign it back to the df, meaning the data frame. Now, if I print out the data frame again, I can see that I have the year column, miles column, price column. Okay, miles should not be there, so we have to remove that. Miles standardized, and then we have a huge list of columns that are one-hot encoded column for the name of the car. There are close to 200 to 300 names of the car, by the way. All right, so we are standardizing that. Now, you might be thinking, is it a good idea to have one-hot encoded with 200, 300 unique column names? Well, in those cases, we would be selecting probably a different algorithm like random forest, and we can perform label encoding. But since this whole section is about linear regression, and that's why I'm doing one-hot encoding. All right. Okay, so that is all done. We still need to do x and y, right? So x equals to df dot drop, because we want to drop certain columns over here. We want to drop the price column and we want to drop the miles column, remember? And the reason that we are dropping the miles column is this column. We're going to drop it because we have miles standardized. That's a new column that we have. All right. Now, if you want, you can, rename that to be something else. That is fine. This video is brought to you by my brand new course, Machine Learning Bootcamp for Complete Beginners. Yes, it is for complete beginners. If you have no idea of machine learning, if you have even never done Python, then this course is for you. Let me go ahead and show you all the things that we're going to be covering in this course. We're going to start with setting up your environment. We're going to learn about the Python language, functions, arrays, loops, dictionaries, lambdas, classes, exceptions, file handling, test-driven development, writing tests, databases, working with APIs. And then we are going to go and start with machine learning. And all of the stuff that we're going to learn about machine learning, we're also going to learn the mathematics behind it. So for linear regression, we're going to learn about the formulas behind it and also going to do real world examples, logistic regression, trees, clustering, PCA. And then we're also going to build a Flask website, which is going to use our pre-trained model, the model that we have trained ourselves. And I keep adding stuff to the course so you can expect new content regularly. Thank you so much, and check out the link in the YouTube description. And hey, there's also a discount code for you, so you can try that out also. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the video. So what I'm doing over here is I am dropping the price column because that's the Y column, that's the target column, and the miles column because miles, we're going to be using the miles standardized, all right? But again, you can, when you are doing the standardization right over here, actually I can write it out for you so that you remember. If you want to overwrite miles column instead of creating a brand new column, then use this and it will be miles. And I'll just comment it out so that you know that. All right. All right. This will be our X and the Y will be DF price. Great. The next thing that we want to do is there are like what, 22,000, right? So we should use the train test split. So I am going to import train test split over here. We have done that number of times. And then I can do the train test split. So I'm just going to copy that part because we have already done that part. There we go. Train test split. Nothing really changing over here. The same thing that we have learned. We're going to be passing X. We're going to be passing Y. Test size is 20%. That's why 0.2. And then now we can import linear regression. So from scikit-learn dot linear model import linear regression. All right. Once we have imported linear regression, we can go ahead and create an instance of the linear regression. There we go. And we can train it. Model.fit X train Y train. And it's training and it's already trained. We can do the prediction now. So let's do the prediction. There we go, prediction. Just calling the predict function to perform the prediction, right? All right. And once we have the prediction, we can get the score. And for score, I'm going to import mean square error and R2 score. So let's go ahead and do that. R2 score. And now I can display the mean square error, R2 score, and also, we also need to import numpy. So let's go ahead and import numpy as NP. Okay, so we're getting the score of 85%, which is pretty good. And the root mean square error is around, let's just say 2,500, all right? Which means that on average, our prices will be off by 2,500, okay? So there you go. We have actually trained that particular model. Now, this was a very interesting video because you learned that the data that you're going to be getting from different sources, it will not always be in perfect condition, right? I mean, we saw that we had to change the name, one-hot encoding, or label encoding if you're using a different algorithm. We also had to fix the year column because there were some issues over there. We had to standardize the miles columns. Now you might be thinking, why didn't we standardize the price column? Well, price column is a target column and you don't really standardize the price column, all right? Because you want the price as it is, like 16,000, 25,000, and so on. So it's a really interesting video. I would say definitely try to do this multiple times. Try to type the code. I'll give you all the code, but try to type it out and even go on Kaggle and try to find a different data set for car prediction prices and try it out. It will have different columns and different rows and different issues that you'll be able to solve. So hopefully you have enjoyed it. Thank you so much.